A deadline day for the Strait of Hormuz, Iran's top diplomat lands in Oman as Washington demands a public promise that the strait stays open. I'm Raja Rahil Khanzada. This is the Jago Times Daily Brief. Today, make-or-break talks over the world's most important oil choke point. Pakistan's military says its Balochistan operation has now killed 88 militants, and the biggest American housing bill in decades becomes law without the president's signature. Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi arrived in Muscat today for talks with Oman on the crisis in the Strait of Hormuz, the narrow waterway that carries roughly a fifth of the world's oil. Here's what Washington wants out of today. According to U.S. officials who briefed reporters, first reported by Axios, the demand is that Iran publicly declare every channel of the strait open and toll-free and pledge to stop firing on commercial ships. Without that, the officials say there will be no move to the next stage of nuclear talks. Reports say a senior American team, Vice President Vance, Secretary Rubio, Envoy Witkoff, and Jared Kushner, is set to lead the U.S. side. Washington says indicating that striking in CFS-based 80 targets for BSI to base. Iran is pushing back. Araghchi says it's Washington that is violating the truce. Pointing to new U.S. Treasury sanctions, he says breach paragraph 9 of the ceasefire memorandum, and insisting Iran, in his words, has so far kept its word. President Trump has declared the original ceasefire over, but has let his negotiators keep talking. And Pakistan remains in the middle of it. Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif urged restraint in a call with Iran's president, while Qatari negotiators have been shuttling to Tehran. The talks were still underway. As we produce this brief, we'll bring you the outcome. From the Gulf to Balochistan, here's Ayesha.
In Pakistan, the military's week-long operation in Balochistan is widening. State media reported today that 9 more militants were killed, bringing the total, by the security force's own count, to 88 since July 5. Operation Shaban was launched after an attack on a police post at the Mangi Dam pumping station near Quetta, part of a wave of militant violence this month that, Pakistan's military says, killed 42 people including police and civilians. The Army, Frontier Corps, and Balochistan Police are running joint air and ground operations, and officials say they'll continue until, in their words, the last terrorist is eliminated. One important note, those casualty figures all come from the military and state media. Balochistan is largely closed to independent reporters, so they can't be independently verified. The province has seen a long-running separatist insurgency, and this month's attacks were among the deadliest of the year. Now to Washington, and a law the president refused to sign. Raja.
In the United States, the largest housing affordability bill in decades became law today without President Trump's signature. The 21st Century Road to Housing Act passed Congress by huge bipartisan margins, 85-5 in the Senate, 358-32 in the House. The law pushes local governments to build more homes by streamlining environmental reviews, makes it easier for banks and credit unions to issue mortgages, expands modular housing, and restricts large corporate investors from buying up single-family homes. The president said he refused to sign it in protest because the Senate hasn't passed his voter ID legislation. Under the Constitution, a bill left unsigned for 10 days while Congress sits becomes law anyway, and at those margins, a veto could have been overridden.
That's your brief. Deadline diplomacy in Muscat, Pakistan's widening operation in Balochistan, and a housing law without a signature. We'll bring you what happens next. Stay tuned to the Jago Times, and subscribe so you don't miss tomorrow's brief.